the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Yes, swear John Dramani Mahama in as a president. Nyamepa Ochana na John Dramani Mahama etimi enya 90 days in office. Metre 3 months. Ewo akunya so na eno na Kwesi Pratt Junior yede etafre no uncle Kwesi Pratt say since John Dramani Mahama ebetena akunya so obenya 3 months no ono Kwesi Pratt etimi atnase etimi say John Dramani Mahama na in conclusion no Kwesi Pratt says so tenase na ohwe John Dramani Mahama ministers ni bi wayi pa de sa research no John Dramani Mahama ediba betu edwa se or bel research country you know enya ade say John Dramani Mahama betimi a research country and some of the MPs ni bi okra Kwesi Pratt so no ka say now e was say John Dramani Mahama timi saki wa because what enya she na won etete office na ye kukuru mponie na ye beswa ye nkoti uncle Kwesi Pratt.
We must say that it is reckless. If something is foolish, we have to be able to say that it is foolish. If something makes no sense at all, we have to be able to say that, look, it doesn't make sense. So we have come to the point where our nation is in crisis. And one of the ways of getting out of this crisis is to be candid with ourselves. Of course, let's show ourselves respect. Let's respect each other and so on. But respecting each other does not mean that we should be burying things under the carpet and we should refuse to be candid with ourselves. You see, my brother, and on the line of being candid with ourselves and so on, let me say something very, you know, I want to say something, my brother, I want to say something very seriously. Look, the Mahama administration has been in office for more than 3 months. Listen to me carefully. It has been in office for more than 3 months.
Actually, the 3rd month will be Monday.
Just entered the 3rd month.
Yeah.
7th January.
It will be 3 months on Monday.
7th April, 3 months.
What is today's date?
Today is what?
Today is 5th.
5th. We are not even 7th.
Oh, okay.
7th will be 3 months.
I like you are right.
You are counting the days. Well, it's
so it's in the 3rd month. So it's in the 3rd month, but not
so
more
the
than 3
Mahama
months.
administration is
3 months.
It's
3 months.
10
Yeah, that's correct.
That is no excuse for keeping anybody in office who has fallen out of line. If you fall out of line the first day, the second day, you must show the exit. This government has a huge opportunity to reset the country. And you can't reset the country with some of the ministers I'm seeing today. My brother, I'm serious. You can't reset this country with some of the ministers I'm seeing today. This government came to power partly as a result to mass opposition to reckless public spending, especially with regards to the National Theatre, the National Cathedral. Listen to me very carefully. So if you appoint a minister who in less than 3 months, I thought it was more than 3 months, but in less than 3 months, looks us in the face and says that we are going to rebuild the national, we are going to build the National Cathedral, and that those who oppose it will face them. Face who? We are going to face those who elected you into power.
Who said that?
I'm surprised that you don't know. That minister must be shown the exit now. He's not fit to be in office. You see, and if the government is able to take such measures, then the viciousness and malicious propaganda of the opposition would not be able to stand. But when government is not able to take a firm stand on these issues and discipline its people and so on, then it provides ground for malicious propaganda and so on. Master, I finished. Opposing privatization. And as ABA Fuseni says, what we need to do is to ensure that these enterprises, are properly managed by competent people. That's all. And we can get things done. We need to be reminded of our history. And the history of privatization in this country has been such a disaster, unmitigated disaster. You privatize 400 state enterprises and only 2 of them survive. What does that tell you? 400 state enterprises are privatized and only 2 of them survive. This ECG, we privatized the revenue collection, department of the ECG. Gave it to the electricity company of France. It was a total unmitigated disaster. We tried to privatize water supply, gave it to Aqua Vital Rands of South Africa. It was an unmitigated disaster. What convinces us that privatization will work this time? It won't work. And look, over the last 8 years, you look at PDS. You look at what has happened with these containers and so on. And it's clear that this is an entity which can survive on its own. I don't want to go back so many years. When I used to work at the Ghanaian Times, as a reporter, I had a very interesting story. Our transformers got blown. Electricity transformers got blown. And there was a local company here in Ghana which could rewound the transformers. The managers of the electricity company of Ghana decided that they would not give it to the local company here. They would send it to Nigeria. And they sent the transformers to a church in Nigeria, the Olumba Church in Nigeria, to rewound the transformers. Can you believe it? The transformers went, I think we paid them in pound sterling. The Olumba Church, we paid them in pound sterling. The transformers were not rewound. The transformers never came back.
It never came back.
And then when you're faced with such problems, you think that your quick answer is privatization. It is not. It is not. You understand? So I believe very firmly that this is a serious vindication of the Public Utility Workers Union and of the Trades Union Congress, and we should, as quickly as possible, abandon this reckless path to privatization.
$50 million. Subsequent to that, there was another high-profile cocaine bust of $350 million. And then they put it out in the media. There was also another incident, which for the first time in about 3 years, we had never had pirates attacking a fishing vessel on Ghanaian waters. And Ghana Armed Forces so responsibly put out a press release, detailed the incident and investigations that were being carried. So we held a press conference as minority caucus, calling on the security apparatus to provide us updates into these incidents that have come.
No issues have been raised with this.
No, yes, so but the conversation.
Let's go for the jugular.
We'll go to that, but I just want for you to know it was a single press conference. The Air Med flight was the second issue among the other issues, and we're asking them that what is the status of all these now. We have not even had any questions from them yet. We'll come to that. We haven't had any answers. We haven't had any, and I thought the media, I shouldn't even have put this, question out there. But the media accompany national security. And 2 months on, we have not had any prosecution of the perpetrators. No one has been arraigned before court. The drugs that were busted, nobody has been arraigned before court. And we are asking what is the status of these, including the Air Med suspicious flight, which also came in around the same time. Now, people are so interested in prosecution of individuals. They're not interested in prosecution of the people behind this crime.
That is the allegation you have raised.
Yes.
And that's what we are interrogating. That's a matter of controversy now.
So in the matters,
by the way you detailed what you understood to be the cargo that was brought in, a cargo of cash and cocaine, it meant that you had knowledge.
So I have a copy of the press conference here, and you even played a video. We said that our intel has intercepted a certain information. And that information has it that 2 suspicious flights out of thousands of flights which fly in and depart month by month, out of all that, only 2 were deemed to be suspicious because the one came in around exactly 12th March, departed 25th March from Gran Canaria and returned to Gran Canaria. The second also came in 20th March and departed 25th March. The one that even came in on 20th March is an air ambulance. He stayed in, and our intel further indicates that there was no patient on board the ambulance, and there was no organ on board, there was no corpse on board, and there was no patient or organ that was taken out on their return. And all of them returned to Gran Canaria. And there are antecedents about Gran Canaria when it comes to transnational issues on money laundering and cocaine and all that, those concerns. There are those antecedents. So given all those background, and the suspicion indicated that there were movements from to and from the flight, suspected to be cocaine and cash. And therefore, we are asking the authorities in the full principle of transparency, which they had demonstrated even in the raid they conducted at Sapiman with cameramen, just to show that we are doing these operations, those security operations, but transparently. They should give us information to verify what is the actual content. Because this is a suspicion. Was it truly cocaine? And
they have given you information.
And if it is not,
they have given you information about one of the cargo, and they've shown you video footage, and you say that is even fake.
Yeah.
So what's the guarantee that if you got a video footage of the content of the airmed, that one too, you will not say that is fake?
My very good brother, Samson, even the handling of this matter by the government is problematic and gives them away. These are specific security matters. When the pirate incident came, Kwachu Fosu was not the one who spoke for the Ghana Armed Forces. So why is he trying to now arrogate to himself the spokesperson of security agencies?
Can we stay on the matters?
We expected
stay on the matters of fact?
We are stating.
Yeah, let's stay on the matters of fact.
Yes, so in respect of the related...
You have been giving, what you have requested, you have been giving a disclosure showing you the content of the cargo, and it is not cocaine, it is not cash.
And that content is not something that anyone can believe. And even the entire narrative is false, because the assertion that the flights that Kavok Air came from Luanda and came to land here to obtain permit to enter EU is neither here nor there. And they claim that Angola doesn't even have the certification to give permits. It's false, because that same airport that he references in Angola obtained that certification to issue RA3 permits way back November 2024. So that assertion is false. So on that premise of his assertion, what else should we even take as
so? What is the alternative?
And you check, if you check the manifest,
you haven't shown what is supposed to be the cargo,
and it is false.
What is supposed to be the content?
It is false.
You say that is fake. That is false. Now you say it is false. So what was in it? Cocaine and money?
No, I'm establishing a point. It cannot also be believed because the response Kwachu Fosu put out there, it's not credible. The routing of the itinerary of the flight is even inaccurate, because your own station, Joy News, when I put out the information, and NDC quickly came in and did politics and debunked it. For your Reverend Minister is lying, no such flight had come. Quickly Joy News took the pain, checked the itinerary, and confirmed that indeed these 2 flights entered. Then they sat up. Now check the same fact Joy News verified and put out, indicating the itinerary of Kavok Air. And they will tell you it's completely different from the itinerary that Kwachu Fosu put out.
Thank you for that. Let's stay here.
So he has put out inaccurate information.
Let's stay here. You said the plane came and offloaded cargo and then took cargo back. The cargo you say it's offloaded, at least one of the planes, you haven't shown the cargo. So should we take it that you don't have suspicions anymore? Because you said it was suspicion, and you have been shown that it is not cocaine, it is not money.
Now, the credibility of that video and information is in doubt. And I say so because if NIB, if Narcotics Control Commission, if Ghana Airports Company, if Police CID, Ghana Armed Force, these relevant agencies had put out information, the credibility is high, and there will be no inaccuracies, and there would have been no crimes. That's all we asked for. We simply asked for facts. And when the armed forces brought their facts.
Reverend, you are saying that if it was NACOB or the other institutions that told you, that told you or showed you this footage,
then you would want to believe.
The presidency has shown, you would have been okay with it.
You would have believed it because
my question again to you is that
because
you have a suspicion. You have a suspicion. You have not been shown contrary evidence. You disbelieve that contrary evidence. So where is the alternative evidence?
Now, whenever this question is asked, the counter question I ask is that the moment you put out a credible information, the burden of proof shifts. When I put it out there and they doubted, but Joy News checked and indicated that indeed those flights had come.
So in fact, the burden has not gone anywhere yet because a multitude of suspicions don't constitute proof. So you have not given any proof.
Very well.
Before the burden shifts.
Very well. Let me continue to respond to
the concern. Who that alleges must prove. Very well. Where is your proof? So, they have shown you the proof. So you disbelieve.
We have released our press conference, our press statement, and we have stated in there.
You are talking about suspicion.
Our intel. Yes, please. Our suspicion. Is it not the people who gave them intel, upon which intel they went to raid Sapima, upon which intel they went to raid the containers containing cocaine? Samson, going by your logic, did they enter the container to take pictures of the cocaine, took samples of it, brought it as real, physical, tangible evidence, and brought it to national security? That this is our proof, this is our evidence, that there's container in Takoradi, another one in Cape Coast, containing cocaine. Therefore, act on it. If we are in this country and suddenly want to say that before a ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee will ask a simple question of suspicion for relevant authorities to investigate and put out credible information, and that query is evaded by politicians who can't champion the PR of it and prevent the security agencies from undertaking their investigations and credible communication, and demand that the ranking member must bring pictures and samples of the cash and cocaine suspected to be in the flight, then what was the basis for we calling for inquiry and investigations into it? If I don't have a picture and a sample of the cocaine, then I have no gravitas to ask for investigation. Is that a kind of logic? Please. In this matter,
so you are saying,
if the government of Ghana is not serious about it,
anybody can get up any day in this country and raise an alarm, and the government should go investigating. And when it investigates and it brings you what it says, this is what the truth is supposed to be.
One investigation,
they should be entitled.
No, please, let me tell you.
Hold on.
No investigation has been done.
They should be entitled to say what the government is showing is false, is fake, and we shouldn't believe that.
Samson, what he put out there cannot be taken seriously because yesterday I debated Kwesi Fosu.
The point is here.
Please.
Reverend,
and he said no investigation has been done.
You are not answering my question.
You said not
answering my question.
An investigation has been done,
Reverend,
for which he has put this information, and I'm telling you, he himself said no investigation has been done yet.
You say that you have a suspicion.
Yeah.
Have you moved beyond the suspicion?
We have put out the suspicion we had.
So have you moved beyond suspicion?
To where?
Because you have been shown evidence of the content of the cargo.
And that is not credible. That content
so
is not credible.
Means you are not dealing with suspicion, right?
No, that content is not credible. And Samson,
it is not credible because you are not dealing with suspicion. Is that correct?
If you will indulge, the moment we put this information out there, the president responded and called for investigation into the matter, and even called for collaboration. I further wrote for that directive that the president had given to be undertaken. I wrote on 2nd